Thank you for joining the Dragon Live event. Please welcome your host, Senior Vice President and General Manager of Dragon Solutions, Peter Mahoney.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for Dragon Live, our first ever broadcasted product launch. We have so much exciting news to share with you today that we just had to do it as part of a live event. There are thousands of people from around the world tuning in today, including many of our existing Dragon users, members of the media, some of our Dragon partners, and people who are learning about Dragon for the first time. Welcome to all of you. We're going to spend about the next 45 minutes telling you about the biggest and most important Dragon launch we have ever done. And we invite you to share the news and your thoughts as we go using the hashtag #DragonForWork. We have 5 new products to announce today, including important new releases for Windows and Mac products, and for the first time we're extending the full power of Dragon to the cloud and to mobile devices. Dragon is already used by millions of people and businesses to get work done. Our users are educators, students, lawyers, doctors, financial advisors, law enforcement professionals, caseworkers, and even some comedians. Dragon has also been widely adopted as an accessibility technology that has given people the ability to work and communicate, stay connected, and in some cases has fundamentally improved their quality of life. And in the coming weeks, we'll be talking more about how Dragon drives productivity for those who rely on accessible technology solutions. Dragon gives busy people in the workforce the ability to quickly and accurately create documents, dictate notes, file reports, capture client and customer documentation, transcribe audio, and simply more by using their voice. Talking is faster than typing. And the time saved using Dragon is time people gain back in their day to either focus more on clients, growing their business, finding more of the work-life balance they've struggled to achieve. Dragon has been helping people get their work done for more than 15 years. However, the way people work has evolved. Some people spend their day behind a desk, others are largely mobile, on the go with meetings or client visits, but most of us today do both. And because everyone is connected, we take our work wherever we go. In fact, according to IDC, more than 100 million people, nearly 3/4 of the U.S. workforce, will be mobile within the next 5 years. Because of this, we've seen a dramatic increase in the demand for cloud-connected, mobile-enabled productivity tools, including Dragon. Research analyst Brian Bassett from IDC says mobility has become synonymous with productivity, both inside and outside the workplace, driving new expectations for productivity tools in the mobile workplace. We've heard these requirements from many of our users, including many of you who are watching today. But I'd like to tell you about one of our users who really epitomizes the mobile professional, Dan Ninen. Dan is a comedian, entrepreneur, author, and a world traveler. He often finds himself writing with Dragon just about everywhere but inside an office. Here's a little bit more about Dan's story.
Hi, my name is Dan Ninen. I'm a professional comedian, actor, and voiceover artist based in New York City. Some of the things I've done in acting include appearing in an Apple commercial with those 2 guys, Mac and PC, and I recently did a voiceover for the Fox animated series Family Guy, which of course has given me instant cred with my friends' kids. I was a demo engineer with Intel Corporation, and it was my job to travel the world with the company's senior executives and do technical demonstrations on stage. Now, designing the demos in the lab, that was easy for me. I was tremendously nervous about speaking on stage, so I thought I have to do something even more terrifying to get over the fear. And of course I took a stand-up comedy class, which changed my life. Now I travel all over the world. I've done about 1,200 shows in 24 countries on 5 continents. I've performed for President Obama, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Steve Wozniak, which was my favorite. I travel over 200,000 miles a year, and I need to be as productive on the road as I can be. And ironically, I have to write a lot more in this job than I did in my Intel job. I I have blogs. I'm writing my second book. I've got TV and movie scripts to write. I've got emails, tons and tons of email. And Dragon, naturally speaking, has been absolutely invaluable in helping me to get my work done when I'm on the go.
As you can probably tell, Dan is a pretty enthusiastic supporter of Dragon. In fact, Dan has sent me videos of himself using Dragon from different locations around the world. He even sent me one recently while he was dictating on a plane. Dan also uses Dragon on multiple computers. That's why Dan, like many other Dragon users, has asked me to connect Dragon to the cloud to allow him to access the full power of Dragon on all his computers and his mobile devices. While not everyone is a globe-trotting comedian, we're all increasingly mobile and connected. And that's why today I am so excited to announce that Dragon is ready for work, ready for the way that you work today. We have created an entirely new suite of Dragon solutions that gives you the power to be the most productive you can be, no matter where you are. As of today, Dragon is now available for PC, Mac, enterprises, and perhaps the most exciting for me, on your mobile devices running both iOS and Android. Together, these products create a seamless productivity solution that allows you to access Dragon from anywhere, with a customized experience that follows you from device to device and computer to computer, leveraging the cloud. We have a lot to show you today, so let's get started. To give business professionals even more productivity and flexibility, today we're announcing a new family of Dragon Professional products. We have evolved our Dragon Professional offerings into two versions, Dragon Professional Individual and Dragon Professional Group. Dragon Professional Individual drives productivity by enabling individual users to quickly dictate or transcribe documents with a fully customizable experience that optimizes speed and accuracy. You can customize words for specific industry terminology, insert frequently used text, or automate repetitive tasks by voice, whether you're using Dragon to create documents, spreadsheets, presentations, or emails, fill out forms, or if you simply want to reduce the physical stress of typing. Dragon Professional now features updated transcription tools that let you quickly and easily transcribe not only your own recorded notes, but it also allows you to transcribe other voices, even if you have never created a voice profile for them. And Dragon saves the audio file that follows along with the transcribed text for playback and easy editing and sharing. But I'm most excited about the ability to connect Dragon Professional Individual to the cloud. By connecting Dragon to the cloud, you can now share your custom words and text shortcuts between your other PCs, Macs, even mobile devices using Dragon. You will hear a lot more about cloud and mobile later in our broadcast, but to tell you about the new Dragon Professional family, I've asked Rick Brown, our Senior Director of Product Management, to join me for a quick demo. Welcome, Rick.
Thanks, Peter. I'm going to share a couple of things with you today about the new Dragon Professional Individual that will show you how you can use the power of your voice to completely change the way you work. Now, you've been able to use Dragon to convert your voice into text in real time using dictation, or to maybe record your voice on a digital device like your phone, and then to convert that into text later using transcription. But as Peter mentioned, we have a new transcription feature in Dragon Professional Individual that takes this to another level. For the first time, you can transcribe the audio of any single speaker's voice incredibly quickly and incredibly easily. Let me give you an example of how that might work. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a new profile. In this case, Peter, it actually is a recording of you talking about Dragon, and it's just something I got off the internet. So I'll call that Peter M. And I'll pick my speech options. And then I'm going to tell Dragon what the transcription source is. Usually this is a digital audio format like WAV or MP3. And now I want to train Dragon on that voice using just a small sample of that. That only takes about 60 seconds. And then once it's trained, I can transcribe the file. Let me give you an example of what that's like when we're done. So let me show you the results of that transcription. I transcribed it into Microsoft Word. You can see all this text here, and this is a fairly long document. So now what I want to do is proofread it. So what would I do? I might go back, listen to the audio, look at the Word file. That would be pretty clumsy and not very productive. Well, Dragon makes it incredibly easy for me to proofread this file while listening to the audio at the same time.
Hi, this is Peter, and welcome back to Ask the Dictator. This episode, we're going to tell you how to deal with words that are not in.
So there you go. It would be incredibly easy now for me to proofread that. Now, another thing you can do is you've been able to use Dragon to customize the way it works for you, depending on the job you're in, or where you work, or even where you are geographically. You probably have very specific personal names, place names, street names, industry jargon, even industry acronyms that you use every day in your speech. And you want to make sure that Dragon gets those 100% accurate. For example, I've been able to use Dragon to create a list of custom words that I frequently use. I'll just give you an example right here. So here are some acronyms and personal names that I use all the time when I'm using Dragon to dictate documents. The other thing I might want to do is create custom commands. Now these are a way to, just with a single word or phrase, automate specific tasks. One of the most popular ones are called autotexts. Autotexts are basically a macro that allow you to populate a document with a frequently used block of text. Here's an example here. I call this prospect intake. Let's say I'm in a law firm, I'm very busy, I'm constantly evaluating new clients, and I want to automate the way I document that process. Let me show you an example of how I would use an autotext. So I'm going to open Word. Prospect intake. August 18th, 2015. Next field. Peter Mahoney. Next field. Client was injured at work. Next field. Eric Guinazzo. Now, here's an example where Dragon had a little bit of problem with a personal name. It didn't recognize Guinazzo. That's okay. It's very easy for me to fix that. I'm going to add a custom word to my vocabulary. I'll spell out the name. And optionally, I can give Dragon some phonetic hints to make it easy for it to understand what I'm saying. Select nozzle. Guinazzo. There you go. Very easy for me to customize Dragon to fit my workflow. Now, what's even more interesting about this is that, as Peter mentioned earlier, we're now taking Dragon to the cloud. And we're going to talk more about this later, but one of the things you can do is all those customizations you make, custom words, custom auto text, can now be stored in the cloud and synced with any version of Dragon you have on any device. And you're going to see just how powerful this is in a little while. So that's an update on Dragon Professional Individual, Peter.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. And this product is named Dragon Professional Individual. But what if you want to manage a group of Dragon users? Many of you have asked us for a better way to deploy Dragon across groups of users, as well as managing those groups of users. You've asked for the ability to share customized terminology and shortcuts across your organization to track usage and manage your licenses without a bunch of technical setup. We've heard you, and that's why we're pleased to announce 2 additional products today: Dragon Professional Group and the Nuance User Management Center. We designed this solution to handle almost any kind of group of Dragon users, from small work groups to large, complex organizations. Dragon Professional Group can connect to the Nuance User Management Center to help you efficiently manage your users and get the most productivity out of your Dragon solution. So Rick, tell me a little bit more about Dragon Professional Group and the Nuance User Management Center.
Sure, Peter. Our corporate customers doing large deployments of Dragon in their organization have asked us for 3 things. One, they want to make it easy to track how often their employees are using Dragon so they can give them training if they need help. 2, they want to make it easy to manage licenses so they can always be in compliance. And lastly, they want to take advantage of the powerful customization features of Dragon so they can adapt Dragon to their specific organization's requirements. Dragon Professional Group, combined with the Nuance User Management Center, gives IT administrators the ability to do all of these things. Further, for enterprises that leverage virtualization to drive economic and efficiency advantages, we've optimized Dragon Professional Group to work with published applications on Citrix. Now organizations can create a Dragon that's completely designed to best meet their needs and the needs of those within their organization. Dragon Professional Group is available today. Visit nuance.com/dragon for more details.
Great, thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Now, if you're keeping score, that makes 3 products we've announced today. And I told you that we're going to announce 5 new products. We've talked about some exciting announcements for our Windows product lines, but we also have made some great progress for our Mac users too. Today, I'm excited to announce the all-new Dragon for Mac version 5, the leading voice recognition software for Mac. We've made a huge leap in accuracy in this latest release. It is now 15% more accurate than version 4. In addition, we've added built-in support for additional accented speech models, which means we'll improve initial accuracy for those heavily accented speakers. We've also added some specialized speech models for the built-in mics on your Mac already, eliminating the requirement for a headset in most conditions. Dragon for Mac has a completely redesigned user interface designed for the latest Mac OS X releases with easier access to all the features. And also configurable user feedback to make it easier than ever to use Dragon for Mac. We also improved on the already unparalleled transcription capabilities. Dragon for Mac is more powerful than ever for hands-free use. We've added the capability to control program menus in items by voice, similar to the capability we have built in for Dragon for Windows. And we've also added full text control for Microsoft Word 2016. Just like the Windows products, I'm excited to announce that you'll also be able to connect Dragon for Mac to the cloud to share your custom words and shortcuts across your devices. Dragon for Mac is available for pre-order today and will begin shipping in September. So, we've talked about PC, Mac, and groups, and I mentioned that we have an all-new mobile offering that truly changes the way that Dragon enhances productivity. Many of you have asked me when we would bring the power and flexibility of Dragon to your mobile device. Well, I'm excited to say that today is that day. We're bringing the power of Dragon into the cloud, into your mobile devices with Dragon Anywhere. Dragon Anywhere is a professional-grade dictation solution for your iOS and Android devices. You probably use the built-in dictation capability in your smartphone or tablet today. And it's incredibly convenient for dictating those short messages or performing searches. But for those of us who use Dragon on a PC or a Mac, we know that dictation can deliver much, much more value, especially for those of us who need to create documents or more significant reports while we're on the move. Dragon Anywhere gives you the power of Dragon away from your PC or Mac. Dragon Anywhere also adapts to you. It adapts to your voice, and it uses your custom terminology and shortcuts. Dragon lets you dictate as long as you want via the cloud, and like all other Dragon products, Dragon Anywhere is incredibly accurate. But the part that's most exciting to me is that Dragon Anywhere uses the cloud to synchronize your custom vocabulary and shortcuts from Dragon Professional Individual, Dragon Professional Group, and Dragon for the Mac version 5. And if you're like me and use Dragon across more than one PC and Mac, Dragon Anywhere will actually synchronize between those devices too. You can probably tell that I'm pretty excited about this, but instead of telling you about Dragon Anywhere, I'd like to ask our head of development for Dragon Anywhere, Mark Jackson, to show you. Mark, give us a quick demo.
Sure thing. So I'm going to show you Dragon Anywhere running today on my iPad. It also runs on your Android devices. I'm going to start off with a Health and Human Services example. Before the demo, I created a competency assessment questionnaire and I uploaded it to the cloud. So I'm going to start by importing that into the app. I'm going to pull it from my Dropbox folder here. And now that I have the document in the application, I can dictate my responses to the question. Now this is a huge win for our caseworker customers. Dragon Anywhere allows them to complete their documentation immediately after they meet with a client. This results in more accurate documentation because the information is all fresh in their minds. It also reduces their workday, so they're not spending their evenings creating documentation. Client lives in a single-family home outside of Boston, period. The house is paid for and is reasonably well maintained, although the roof needs repairs, period. New paragraph. Choose photo. Client is a widower of 2 years, period. He manages most ADLs and IADLs, although he does receive daily lunches from Meals on Wheels, period. He's very independent and proud he still, open quote, runs his own home, period, close quote. He's adamant to remain in his home, even if he becomes ill, period. Microphone off. And with Dragon Anywhere, for the first time, I have true professional quality dictation capabilities. It allows me to select, correct, navigate, and even apply formatting by voice. Let me show you. Insert after roof. Clearly. Go to end of sentence. Schedule inspector to assess life expectancy of the roof, period. Select schedule inspector. Underline that. Microphone off. Another powerful capability of the product is the option to customize the vocabulary so it understands words that are specific to my industry and my clientele. So next I'll show you some legal dictation that includes custom words. New document. Client seeks damages from standard job function injuries received while employed as a welder by McMaster Fabrication, period. Select fabrication. Cap that. Go to end. Client has not obtained optimal medical improvement and remains incompetent to perform essential work functions, period. New paragraph. Injuries were inflicted by the cruise check Drone Man 7500 welding robot, period. So you can see here that the system correctly recognized several legal acronyms: standard job function, optimal medical improvement, and it did that because I've added these words to the vocabulary, which you can see here on the words page. Now, it didn't do a great job recognizing the name of this welding robot, so let's add that to the vocabulary. I'll return to the words page and start by entering the correct spelling for this robot's name. Now, since this is an uncommon word, I'm also going to enter a pronunciation so the system has a better idea of how I say this word. So now we're going to add this new word to the vocabulary. And when I save the word, it's not just saved here on my iPad, it's uploaded to the cloud, so it's available from all of my devices that are running Dragon. So now let's return to our document and see if the system does better. Select this sentence. Delete that. Injuries were inflicted by the cruise check Drone Man 7500 welding robot, period. New paragraph. Perform discovery on litigation precedents involving this robot, period. Microphone off. So now that I've completed my initial document, I'm going to save it up to the cloud so I can access it from all of my documents. In this case, I'm going to share it out to my Dropbox account. I can share it using any cloud service that's installed on my device. I could also share out my dictation as an Evernote note. So now let's imagine I've completed my discovery work for this case, and I want to document my findings. Now I'm back in the office where I have Dragon for Mac running. And as we've mentioned earlier, one of the most powerful features of the product is its ability to synchronize between the cloud and the desktop. So when I start up Dragon for Mac, I'm going to have it connect to the cloud and see if there are any new words or auto text to retrieve. And we can see in the word list here that it's now downloaded the name of this robot that I had entered previously on the iPad. So now let's return to the document that we had started on the iPad and document our findings here. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see what's happening. Select all. Set font size to 18 point. New paragraph. Identified 3 litigation precedents involving the cruise check Drone Man 7500 robot, period. 2 settled out of court, period. A third is under litigation in Ohio, period. So that's Dragon Anywhere in action. You saw how it brings true professional quality dictation capabilities to the iOS and Android platforms, and how it synchronizes with the desktop to provide our mobile workers a seamless workflow. Now, the synchronization capabilities that we saw here also exist between Dragon Anywhere and the Nuance User Management Center for our corporate customers. This allows a corporate administrator to create a set of custom words and auto text macros and then deploy them to groups of employees or all of the employees in their organization.
Thank you, Mark. That was great. I certainly learned one thing. I need to get a new welding robot for my home workshop because those cruise check things are pretty dangerous.
Bad news.
Great. Well, thanks very much for the demo.
Sure thing.
And I'm sure after seeing that demo, you want to know how to get your hands on Dragon Anywhere. Dragon Anywhere will be available as a monthly or annual subscription later on this fall, and you'll be able to download the mobile apps from the Apple App Store and Google Play. When you add all these pieces together, we have an incredibly powerful set of solutions to help you become more productive at work. Over the past several months, we've shared our plans and some early versions of our new solutions with customers of all sizes. Their feedback has been instrumental in refining our product plans, and it also has been overwhelmingly enthusiastic about our new product direction. I'd like to share one perspective from Dioria Law Offices, a local law firm in the greater Boston area.
My name is Bob Dioria. I'm an attorney in Bedford, Massachusetts, and I run a law firm comprised of 4 to 5 lawyers at any given time. And we've been using Dragon in my firm for the past 5 years. And over the past 5 years, we've actually evolved quite a bit in the uses that we've made of Dragon. It's made us much more productive and much more efficient. We started off using Dragon mainly for correspondence, and eventually it evolved to the point where we found wonderful uses for it, things ranging from digesting depositions. We typically type out questions to be asked of witnesses or our clients. We dictate those. I can dictate a series of questions to a client that imitate almost exactly my demeanor and my speech in a courtroom. That's been particularly helpful. We utilize it for email. If it's more than a 1 or 2 line email, I'll typically dictate through Dragon. I'm looking forward to the Dragon Anywhere application that's coming out because I think, as a lot of attorneys have experienced, we have a lot of downtime. We may be sitting in a courtroom during a break. It'd be nice to get on to our cell phone and dictate the status of a case or client follow-up letter or perhaps a memorandum of law. We also find that it's particularly helpful when we don't have secretarial staff available. 24/7, we're available, typically, whether it be a weekend or after hours. I now have the ability to generate documents by use of Dragon. I used to have to depend on bringing a secretary to come in and type. I still type with one finger, so obviously I'm not very proficient there, but with Dragon, it's made me probably as effective or more effective than most administrative assistants.
We have had some amazing feedback about our new Dragon products from our customers, but I thought some of the most useful feedback came from a longtime Dragon user, author, executive coach, and productivity expert, Jason Womack. I'm thrilled that Jason is able to join us live in the studio to share his impressions on Dragon, along with some really important insights about mobile productivity. Welcome, Jason. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invitation.
Absolutely. Now, I asked Jason to join us because he has this unique perspective on productivity. Not only is he an incredibly busy mobile professional, but he also helps leading organizations improve their organizational and personal productivity. But I want to start with you first, Jason. Tell me a little bit about a typical day of Jason Womack.
A typical day. Well, that's actually an important place to start, Peter. Since 1997, I've been studying the psychology and sociology of productive days. And over that time, I've facilitated workshops for multinational organizations, traveling around the world, almost 200 days a year, leading workshops on my last book, Your Best Just Got Better. I help leaders work smarter, think bigger, and make more. I also coach senior executives as they create the context, the environment to enhance and increase overall empowerment in the organization, but also productivity while maintaining this healthy relationship between their work and their life goals. And so a typical day for me, in order to manage all that, it starts early. First thing I do is I check overnight messaging. I see what's come in from our global client base, maybe some of my staff distributed around the world. Our Get Momentum Academy members may have emailed me overnight. Of course, I'm also looking for anything that's come in from the media that I can respond to before the day starts. All that before I head to the gym. Like I said, I travel a lot. I know that strength and stamina is going to be part of the leverage that I take into continuing the momentum that I've got. After that is all done, I start my work day. And that's divided into 3 different sections. And in my mind, I'm thinking about those people watching today, the mobility and the productivity part. So 3 things that I'm doing. I'm researching, I'm creating content, and then I'm coaching individuals around the world. So that unpacks and unfolds a typical day in the world of Jason.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate that. And now, Jason, I didn't think it was possible for you to be more productive than you are today, but we had you testing Dragon Anywhere for us, and can you give me a little bit of your first impressions from using Dragon Anywhere?
Absolutely. Today marks a month since I got an early release of Dragon Anywhere. I've been using Dragon for more than 5 years. I've used it to write articles. I've used it to, I wrote a lot of the previous book. I know I'll write a lot of the next book using Dragon, the Dragon suite of products. So when I got your email and you asked if I would test Dragon Anywhere, I had assumed it would be a nice to have feature. That changed in about a week. This is now a must-have. In fact, it dominates real estate. On my first app of my mobile phone, I have 4 applications, and Dragon Anywhere is 1. I thought I'd just share 3 ways that I use this the most, so that people can get that. So in my research, if I'm reading a study and I want to cite something later on, there on my mobile device, as you saw earlier that Mark Jackson showed us, I will simply read that citation. Email it to myself. I've got it in my inbox for later use. When I'm creating, I often spend time in front of a whiteboard or deep in my notebook, taking notes, writing things, trying to connect ideas. I'll take out my phone, I'll start dictating, and there it is in my inbox. And then, of course, the third case, and this is where I think most mobile professionals are going to get the most value out of Dragon Anywhere, is when I'm walking away. When I'm walking away from a client engagement, when I'm walking away from a workshop, I know when I'm walking away from today on the car ride to the airport, I'll be using Dragon Anywhere because I find if I can capture what I'm thinking while I'm thinking it, later on I have more information to use.
Well, that's incredibly valuable, Jason, and I think that we've seen a lot of this, by the way, and people who are assessing or inspecting things in the field, if you're a home inspector, if you're a police officer or a detective, obviously if you're a doctor or if you're a lawyer, or of course if you're a writer, you sit there, you look at your environment, and you provide all of your thoughts right there while they're still fresh in your mind. And in the example that Mark gave relative to caseworkers, that's incredibly powerful because, of course, these are people who are helping families get better, and being able to document completely and accurately in the moment. Exactly. That makes a huge difference in the way that works. So we have a really large audience out here of business professionals watching us now. And I'm sure they're all ready to get Dragon Anywhere, but I wonder if you had some other insights to share. I know I get a lot of value from from the advice that you provide to your readers and customers like me. And I wonder if you can share a couple of tidbits for the audience before we wrap up.
Absolutely, Peter. I'll share two techniques, two tips that I've got that could radically enhance how productive you are later today, through today. The first one's going to be strategic, and then I'll end it with a very tactical approach to productivity. Peter, I work with folks every day who are trying to figure out this relationship between when they're at work working, when they're at living. And from the strategic angle, what I'll encourage you all to do is to practice focus. I call it holding to the focus line. Now, there's a lot of information out there about mindfulness at work. So I'll talk about that for just a moment. And then I'm going to talk about this tactic that I call at my best when. That is, how do I create the conditions necessary in order to live that ideal state of productivity? So with this idea of focus, I have a mantra that I share with my clients. It's called focus to finish. And what I mean by that is when you start working on something, stay in it for as long as possible. Peter, I read some research out of the Gallup organization. A psychologist from San Jose State University found following managers in an organization, most people are getting about 2 minutes of focus before they're interrupted, before they're distracted, before they're pulled off.
That sounds about right.
And anybody watching this today, I'm kind of curious, how many of you have had your focus distributed during this webcast today? But you know what it's like to read a page of a document, get distracted, you go back, and then you have to redo that same work. What Dragon Anywhere actually has helped me do with this focus to finish is, while I'm thinking of an email to send, while I'm thinking of a paragraph to add to an article, I can get closer to the end of that and kick that out.
That's great.
Now, no one's going to debate me on the importance of focus at work, all this information coming out about mindfulness at work. So the question on people's mind is going to be, well, how do I do it? Right? I know I need to be focused, but Jason, you don't know what it's like working in our environment. So here's the tactic, and I'll leave with this one. I call it at my best when. What I'll ask you to do is to pull out a piece of paper, a notepad, and up on top simply write, I am at my best when. And then let yourself come up with 5, maybe 7 ingredients. You know, I know I'm at my best when I eat a complete and balanced breakfast. I know I'm at my best when I get 20 minutes of cardio in the morning. And there's other indicators that will set me up to have a more productive day. There's a psychology term that we've been dancing around here, which is called cognitive dissonance. And what happens is, when we make a to-do list, when we tell someone we're going to do something, our mind goes to work wanting to close that gap, wanting to finish that thing. I say use cognitive dissonance to your advantage. Create your at my best when list, look at it in the morning, look at it in the afternoon, and see if you can create the conditions necessary for you to have a more productive day.
Well, that's great. Very, very tangible, and I hope people can take advantage of some of that advice right away. Absolutely. So really appreciate that, Jason. And if people want to learn more about you or where they can get more information, where would they go?
Absolutely. You can visit the website, www.getmomentum.com.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Jason, as always, for sharing your wisdom. And thank you all for joining us today in our first live webcast of Dragon Live. We're incredibly excited about our new Dragon product family. It's ready for work in the way you work today, with all the new versions of Dragon Professional Individual, Dragon Professional Group, Dragon for Mac version 5, and of course, the ability to harness Dragon wherever you are with Dragon Anywhere. So to see more information about all these great new products we've announced today, look at the links at the bottom of your webpage or visit nuance.com/dragon. And thank you all for paying attention and spending some of your time today, and I hope to see you really soon.